Hello everyone, today we will look at a GW2 Harbinger build for open world content that offers high damage while maintaining very good sustain. You can use it to solo pretty much anything in open world content, like running around doing events, finishing collections, masteries, working on story and such. For the gear, we are using a full set of Viper armor with Traveler runes, Viper pistol and dagger, and a Settler warhorn. We have Sigil of Draining on the pistol, Sigil of Strength on the dagger, and on the warhorn we have Sigil of Leeching. And for the trinkets, we have a full set of celestial trinkets. I have a guide that shows you how to gear up any character from scratch. I will leave the link for it in the description below. For the food, we will use oysters with spicy sauce, which will give us 10% damage reduction and 70 condition damage. And it's very important to use this food because I tried the build without it and it didn't have as much sustain. For the utility, we will use the Master Tuning Crystal. Or if you want to be more cost efficient, we can use the potent version of it, which will last for 1 hour. You can buy Sigil of Draining from the Nohawk Mastery vendor, which you will find right beside the spawn waypoint in Tangled Depths. This will cost 250 leyline crystals and 2 gold. But before you can talk to this vendor, you will need Nohawk Language Mastery. You can also buy it from any heroic notary vendor in any of the borderlands in Wardus' Vault. This will cost 20 silver and 75 proof of heroics, or in the tab above it, this will cost 75 testimonies of heroics. If you don't have any of those currencies, you can go to the first tab and you can see which currency do you have and just use it to exchange to the others. But keep in mind is that before you can buy this sigil from any notary vendor, you must have fully unlocked the Provision Master ability line and you must maximize it. Sigil of Draining will work very well with this build, but if you still cannot get it from the options we mentioned, then you can use Superior Sigil of Restoration instead. For the traits, we are using Blood Magic 2, 3, 1, and then Curses, we have 1, 2, 2, and for Harbinger, we are using 3, 3, 3. For the utility skills, we have Signet of Vampirism with Signet of the Locust, and then we have Elixir of Ignorance, Risk, and Ambition. Blood Bank is a trait that will give you a lot of barrier throughout the entire fight, and it will give you even more barrier whenever you are 100%, and so we will try to do our best to stay 100% through the entire fight. Vampiric Presence will heal us from doing our damage normally. Vampiric will also siphon even more health. Parasitic Contagion in Curses is going to convert 5% of our condition damage into healing, and with this setup you will be doing a lot of condition damage, which means you will be getting a lot of heals. Sigil of Draining will give us a lot of health when we CC enemies. Pistol 3 is going to stun and it will hit multiple enemies at the same time. And then in your Harbinger Shroud, skill number 5 and skill number 4 are both very good CCs, and so this sigil is going to proc very often and it will give you a lot of health. Warhorn will be used when we need extra sustain, and this will give us leeching once we switch to it, which will also give you a lot of health. And then skill number 5 from Warhorn is also going to give you some life siphon, which will also heal you. Signet of Vampirism will keep leeching health on passive, and Signet of the Locust can heal you for a massive amount, especially if used in the middle of multiple enemies. So all of this combined will make sure you stay at 100% most of the time, which will give you a lot of barrier. Blight is one of the key features in this build. You can get maximum 25 stacks of it, and for every stack you will lose a little bit of health. You will also gain a lot of condition damage and a lot of healing. The elixirs we use on our utility skills will work very well with Blight. Our elite will provide a lot of boons and conditions while giving us a lot of Blight, and the same thing will be with Elixir of Risk. It will give us some Might and Fury, which will give us a burst of damage at the beginning with some Blight. Elixir of Ignorance, it will be our stun break and we can use it whenever we need that, and when we do, it will also give us a lot of Blight and some resistance. Also, when we go to Harbinger Shroud, we will generate Blight every second, and all of your skills here will be very good. 5 and 4 will do a lot of CCs, and remember that CCs will give you some healing because of the sigil. 5 will also give you a lot of life force, and 2 and your auto attack will provide a lot of damage. And so, what we want to do is make sure you use Elixir of Risk and Ambition at the beginning of the fight. This will give you a lot of boons and apply a lot of conditions on the enemy. It will also give you a burst of Blight, which will help with the damage and healing, and then go to Harbinger Shroud, and you will keep spamming all of your skills until you run out of life force, and only then you will exit Harbinger Shroud. Once you are here, you will use all of your pistol dagger skills, especially pistol 2 and 3, and anytime your Harbinger Shroud is ready, use it, and anytime your elixirs are ready, use them. Elixir of Ignorance will be very good for a stun break, and Sigil of the Locust is not used for the speed. This will be used whenever you need heals, because it will siphon a lot of health especially if you are hitting multiple enemies at the same time, and you will see that later in the footage. If you start struggling with sustain, then you can start using some minions. For example, we can use the Blood Fiend as our heal. We can also remove Elixir of Risk and put Shadow Fiend instead. And if that was not enough, we can also remove our Elite and we can put the Flesh Golem instead. The minions will help take aggro away from you, and then because of the trace we have in Blood Magic, the minions will also naturally siphon health as they attack. And don't forget to check out my guide on how to improve any open world build, which will definitely make this build work even better in any kind of open world content you are doing. I will now leave you with some footage for this build in action, and I hope you enjoy it when you try it. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next guide.